Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Bearded Hops Podcast. My name is Chad from Bearded Hops, and I can't do an English accent. That was terrible. That was like Australian or something. That was really bad.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Hi everybody, Chad from Bearded Hops Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of Friday Morning Beer Review. Today I am doing a English beer from Samuel Smith. This is Old Brewery Tadcaster, the famous Taddy Porter. Now, Samuel Smith is in Yorkshire, UK. It is super, super old, like 1700s old, 1758 maybe? Yep, 1758. It's an old mother effing brewery. I'm interested to see what this one's going to taste like because the price point on this bottle of beer, which is a 550 milliliter bottle, it's 1 pint, 2.7 ounces. This was $2.99. $2.99. I don't know what that means this is going to taste like. I've had other Samuel Smith beers. We've I don't know if we reviewed them or not, but I've had the chocolate stout and I've had the imperial stout. Good beers, for their price point. So I don't know why this one would be any different, but we'll see what happens here. Got the bottle open. I can kind of smell a little bit of a chocolate aroma. So a sniff out the bottle. It's got a nice earthy chocolate, like cocoa nibs smell to it. The bottle has their typical design label. Most of their beers have a very similar looking label to them, which is kind of a family thing. Their logo, the Old Brewery, Samuel Smith, Tadcaster, Taddy Porter, product of England. On the back, it's a short description of the beer, which I think is also on the website. Very dark, full-bodied ale with a rich, creamy head and an intense, dry, tangy character. Brewed with well water. The original well sunk in 1758 is still in use, it says. Malted barley, a roasted malt, yeast, and hops. Fermented in stone Yorkshire squares, which they talk about that on their website as well. The type of beer first brewed in the early 18th century. Gained its name from being drunk by porters in the fish, meat, and other produce markets. Samuel Smith's brews at a small traditional British brewery, the oldest brewery in Yorkshire. Adding whole dried hops to the wort in the boiling copper. There's a picture of the boiling copper on the back there. And then, of course, the government warning. And the importer information, Merchant Duvin are the importers for Samuel Smith. The sole importer of Samuel Smith beers. All right. Let's pour it and see what it's like. There's that nice creamy head coming through. Now, being 550 milliliters, I'm not going to get the whole thing in the glass there. Let that settle down a little bit. I can smell it as the aromas are being released by the bubbles. It has a very different smell in the glass than it did in the bottle. Now in the bottle, you're just smelling the beer. In the glass, you're getting the aroma as the bubbles pop, which is giving off a kind of a tangy tart fruit smell. Almost like fruit that's been sitting out but hasn't gone bad yet. It kind of starts to have a little bit of a smell, like a tart smell to it. That's what I'm smelling there, like cherries or apples or something that are starting to ferment. Let's give it a taste. Prost. for $2.99 for 550 mils, that's really good. I was honestly not expecting anything great from this. I mean, it's not great, but I was expecting it to be like, ugh, that's not really that good. I understand why they charge $2.99 a bottle for it, which you may be able to get it even cheaper. I don't know. I buy almost all my beer from the local Hartford Wine and Spirits store here in Hartford, Wisconsin. This has a higher quality for the price point than I would have expected. That's really good. I get the aromas help with that tangy tart sensation when you're drinking it. It is somewhat chocolatey, not overwhelming, and it's not overly earthy like a lot of porters end up tasting. Very, very earthy, kind of almost dirt-like. This one has that, but it's so subtle that it works nicely with the other flavors and aromas that come out of it. That's good. I'm not going to go all goo goo on gaga on this. It's just a good porter with some nice flavors. So I won't say that it's great or excellent or anything like that, but that's a good porter, good solid porter that I think most people could drink. It's not overly bitter. It does have a nice tarty, tangy aftertaste, which is what they go for. I mean, that says right here on the bottle. Intense, dry, tangy character. It works. So Samuel Smith brews at the old brewery Tadcaster, which I'll be honest with you. One of the reasons I bought this beer is because we're podcasters or beer casters, beer tubers, whatever you want to call us. I looked at that and I'm like, Tadcaster, podcaster. That's what attracted me to this beer, for literally no other reason. But turned out nice. Tadcaster Brewery, the old brewery, was established in 1758. They do full-bodied malty ales, delicate fruity lagers, velvety chocolate stouts. They brew distinctive, well-balanced, and elegant beers, as it says on their website. Now, the stone Yorkshire squares here, it looks like a stone box, which they use for their fermentation tanks. It's open air. You can see all this on the website. SamuelSmithsBrewery.co.uk. The brewery still uses the stone Yorkshire squares to ferment all of its ales and stouts except for the Sovereign and Extra Stout. And they also use the same yeast strain that's been used since the 1800s. They use a variety of English hops, Fuggle, Golding. They do their boil in copper tanks. All this stuff is on their website. It's really a pretty decently put together website. It is an independent British brewery in Tadcaster, North Yorkshire, England. The oldest brewery in Yorkshire, as mentioned already. So the owner is Humphrey Smith and Oliver Smith. Independent UK brewery, very cool. I've had some good beers from. Every time I grab one, I'm like, it's, I don't know how good it's going to be, but they always turn out very, very nice. So a little bit more information on the famous Taddy Porter, which I'm drinking this morning, which, by the way, is June 28th, and it's getting to the point where until I turn the air on, this is going to be tough to wear in the morning. It's 77 degrees already this morning, and I put the robe on just for you guys. I've already described what it says on the bottle. There's a little bit more information on the website as far as what's in it. It is a 5% ABV beer, no IBUs on their website. I'll check on tap here in just a second. Best served about 55 degrees. As you may have noticed, before I started pouring this, the bottle was sweating profusely. Trying to warm it up. Took it out of the refrigerator about 45 minutes to an hour before I started doing this podcast. This video cast. Maybe we'll start calling it a video cast. But anyway, it's probably right around 55 degrees, maybe slightly warmer. I did get started a little bit later than I wanted to, but I think it's probably right around 55, 58 degrees, and it's quite good. The ingredients: water, malted barley, yeast, hops, cane sugar, carbon dioxide. How can carbon dioxide be an ingredient? This is a vegan registered beer. registered with the Vegan Society, suitable for vegans and vegetarians. How about that? Nutrition information per 100 grams, 46. Oh boy, they use a different scale over there. I forgot. 46 kcal. I don't know. Energy 191 kJ. I don't know what that means. Zero fat, 3.8 grams of carbohydrates, of which less than 0.4 grams are from sugars, 0.4 grams of protein, and no salt. Comes in a case of 12 single bottles. All right, so let's jump over to the old Untapped Taddy Porter. All right, doesn't say when it was added to Untapped, but this beer has been around for a very long time. So 65,000 total check-ins, 56,400 unique, 5% ABV. It does give a rating on the IBU scale of 32, and an average check-in rating of 3.7. If we were still rating beers, would wholeheartedly agree with that. It's not in the excellent category, but it's certainly good, well regarded. 65,000 total check-ins with 3.7. I think you can say this is a pretty solid beer. So if you see one of these, go grab it, pick one up. I think you'll enjoy it. Have a happy pre-4th of July weekend, everybody. Be safe. I did miss Friday Morning Beer Review last week due to a work trip. I knew it was going to happen. My goal was to do 52 of these a year this year. Lofty goal, because work travel does get in the way, and that happened last week. So I did not have the opportunity to even record one early and save it for later. So sorry about that. It's been 2 weeks since one of these has come out. And there also will not be a Friday Morning Beer Review next week. 4th of July is on Thursday. I'm headed to the boat on Wednesday. Work is going to be crazy Monday and Tuesday. I'm just not going to have a chance to record one of these in advance. And I will be on the boat next Friday anyway. And although it might be kind of fun to do one on the boat, I don't think I could get one out quickly, because I probably won't be up too early on a Friday morning after 4th of July being on a Thursday. So anyway, one last announcement. This is the very last podcast, Friday Morning Beer Review. I know, with the black curtains. Those are going to go away. I'm going to reconfigure the podcast studio / office. I have a different background, nice variety of shelf things to show on my shelf and hats. And anyway, say bye-bye to the black curtain behind me. No more ghosts moving the curtains. So that'll be that's the sad part. But yeah, like I said, be safe, everybody, this weekend. Have a great 4th of July. I'll be back the week after 4th of July with another Friday Morning Beer Review. Until then, cheers, prost, Friday Morning Beer Review. Later, taters.